Welcome to the 17th video in the series, Foundations of Communist Organizing. Today we'll be going over the Third Communist International Second Congress, Theses on the Role of the Communist Party in the Proletarian Revolution, which I have subtitled, The Party Must Protect Itself from Opportunism. In this text, the Communist International specifies the role of the Communist Party in the class struggle, and therefore what actions and organizational methodologies it has to structure itself to be able to engage in. The party is required because only the party form can engage in the most advanced class struggle. The class struggle is necessarily always preparing for eventual civil war, so that political power can be achieved. This seizure of power needs to be purposeful, not spontaneous, and the only way that can be done is through the party, as it is a political organization which can have 1. Organized and tested leadership, 2. Clear aims, and 3. A tangible, developed foreign policy. This organization is the starting point for permanent communist construction under the dictatorship of the proletariat. The class struggle's character under the proletarian-bourgeois relationship requires that all worker organizations centralize and establish common leadership. Only the political class party can achieve this, as it is made up of a determined minority of the working class that are communist, wish to act, have a program, and wishes to organize the struggle of the masses. No other organization or formless economic struggle can achieve this. The party, owing to its historical view, stands for the total interests of the working class, even with the changing moods of workers under the short-term conditions of capitalism, thus rejecting left quote-unquote populism, acting as the guiding spirit of to the proletariat on the historical road through taking the historically progressive stance. It is made out of the parts of the working class that are most advanced in terms of class consciousness, self-sacrifice, and far-sightedness. It has no interests that differ from the interests of the working class as a whole, but stands outside of the aforementioned moods since its character allows it to see the totality of the historical struggle, which it steers the proletarian mass along. Unfortunately, the party will not be able to have the whole of the proletariat as its membership under capitalism, due to the power of bourgeois hegemony. Thus, it will remain a minority. However, after political power is seized, the party will continue agitation and propaganda under the dictatorship of the proletariat and establish a new proletarian hegemony. Thus, the party loses its military organizational structure and brings the whole of the proletariat in over time, as the vast majority of workers become politically developed enough. The Communist Party must be built on the principle of democratic centralism, wherein 1. Higher party cells are elected by the lower cells. 2. All directives from higher cells are unconditionally binding for the lower cells. And 3. There is a strong party center with incontestable authority. In addition, the workers' movement is divided into 3 general categories. 1. The party. 2. The worker councils. And 3. The productive associations. Each of these have their own roles, but all are to be integrated together and subordinate to the party. They are constantly and systematically led by the party, which acts as the economic, political, and cultural guiding spirit of the communist movement and all forms of proletarian organization. This is because the councils and associations are not necessarily looking at the totality of the international workers' movement. As such, the party is necessary to turn these organizations into revolutionary formations. The party engages in propaganda, with the outlet of such being fully subordinate to the whole party and its central committee. Within all worker organizations, the Communist Party establishes such control through the creation of cells that are subordinate to the Communist Party in every single one, which gives information, engagement in propaganda and agitation provided by the Communist Party's central organ, and seeks to bring the organization into the Communist Party's control. This allows it to remain in close contact with the broadest layers of the proletariat by being present in these non-party worker associations. Through agitation and propaganda education, it prevents the enemy of the revolutionary proletariat, for example, populists, social democrats, the bourgeoisie and petty bourgeoisie, and so on, from taking them over. The party also enters into reactionary spaces in order to propagandize within them and convince reactionary workers that those trying to convince them not to join the class struggle for socialism are their class enemies, turning their outrage propaganda against them. It also creates propaganda and organizations within rural areas. It links legal and illegal work in a planned manner, with legal work being under the actual control of the illegal party. Any engagement with bourgeois electoralism is subordinate to the control of the whole party. The party does not engage in electoralism, but may support groups within the party doing so. Those engaging in electoralism who do not accept subordination are to be expelled. And that is my summary of the Third Communist International Second Congress theses on the role of the Communist Party in the Proletarian Revolution. As usual, if you'd like to find the quotations that I base this summary off of, you can go into the Google Doc linked in the description below. You will also find a link to the United Marxist Pact Discord server, where you can join, and we would love to have you and talk about any questions or thoughts or input you might have as regards this, or any other text in this series or any of the others. Tomorrow we will be going over the 1920 piece by the Third Communist International Second Congress, Theses on the National and Colonial Question. Thank you for joining me for today's topical summary, and I hope to see you then.